Yeah, so it's a little over a kilometer of shoreline on the Fraser River, and it runs along Marine Drive in Vancouver as well. So it's a mixed-use community, mix of residential, rental, condo, and retail uses centered around parks and the waterfront. Yeah, it's been a while. It's been in planning since the early 2000s and has been an active neighborhood since about 2010, with new residents moving in every year. It's one of the fastest growing neighborhoods in Metro Vancouver. It is a city within a city. It's a self-contained neighborhood, all brand new infrastructure, brand new parks, cycling infrastructure, all new community services, etc. Yeah, so for a community like this, at times it can be limited. With the provincial government on this site, it's really been related to environmental approvals, and things to do with the shoreline, etc. Would love to see more involvement from the province in major infrastructure projects down here. All housing requires new infrastructure to be built. It's a big challenge in Metro Vancouver. We have a growing infrastructure burden, and it adds a lot to the cost of new housing. So having provincial involvement in things like civic centers, larger infrastructure projects like shoreline redevelopment work, parks, things like that, would be really beneficial because they're major capital projects for cities to take on. Schools are a massive challenge in the province, growing population down here with kids and the school's not here yet. There are 2 designated school sites, one for elementary and one reserved for high school. The way that the school boards work with the province requires the schools in the area to be full first, and so the geographic catchment here, although it's quite grade separated from the northern part, up in Champlain Heights, that's the school district right now. Yeah, so this will be a community of about 18,000 residents when it's complete, which is quite large in British Columbia. It'd be a top 30 size city in BC all on its own in this neighborhood in the corner of Vancouver. Yeah, you'd see a growing neighborhood that's really coming into its own. You'll see a ton of young families down here, and it's a community that needs infrastructure investment and services present. So, roads, schools, civic centers, things like that.
My name is Helen Loy, and I'm here sitting in front of the Alder building, which is one of the buildings that I saw completed when I was working at Catalyst Community Development Society, and that was 6 or 7 years ago. So I think this neighborhood has definitely grown, and there's a lot more stuff that's been built out, which is really nice to see. I think of River District as very similar to Olympic Village, which is a neighborhood I'm very lucky to live in. It's an opportunity to build a lot more of the much needed housing supply without having to displace anyone, which is a huge plus. I think they're going for, this idea of a complete community where there's housing, amenities, and services, which is desperately needed, but obviously South Vancouver still proportionately doesn't see as much funding in all aspects, right? Transit, infrastructure, when you compare it to some of the other Vancouver neighborhoods. So that's still a challenge, I believe, in this neighborhood, but it's really nice to see kind of all the new buildings every single time I come down here. North of Marine Drive, you'll see still a lot of those areas that are quite low density, mostly detached single-family homes. Having not lived in this neighborhood, I suspect a lot of those folks were able to be lucky to purchase their homes and grow their families from quite a while back, which is something that some of us, especially the younger generations, can't afford to do, is access the single family homes without help. So I think the housing that's being built south of the Marine Drive is a good opportunity for people to get into the housing market, to whether it's rental or home ownership tenure, and be able to be in a community that both meets their needs, but also can have access to a lot of other services and amenities. Housing supply is a really important major factor in ensuring affordability for everyone. And then on top of that, for most folks that can't, access brand new housing, then obviously below market or subsidized housing, like the building we're sitting next to, is really important. So those have to go hand in hand, I think. So what, for example, West Group is doing south of Marine Drive is still really important, and it still provides a lot of housing that, a majority of people, not majority, but a lot of people can still access and buy or rent. And then on top of that, we need to continue to have subsidies and government, especially provincial and federal funding, to be able to create the options for the people who can't access that market housing. People are going to feel concerned that there's going to be change to their neighborhood, and I think that that's very reasonable, but there's a role for government, both local and provincial, to do to bring people along and help clarify why we're doing this, why we're building communities like River District, and how important it is to families and to households in BC that are trying to get into their first home or have a chance at building their lives.